Morning and welcome to another episode of Motors for the Masses, and we are back on the hybrid build. So what are we doing today, Malcolm?
It's a day of electrics again. But going on for forever.
Exactly, going back on the bike, not coming off it. Yes, we are putting the wiring loom on, we're getting the headlight on, the rear lights, the front and rear cameras that we're having on, the switch gear, tidying up the instruments,
Paint the exhaust.
yes, so much to do.
Sort some studs out maybe.
Indeed. Oh yes, and we're going to wrap the HT leads up, and we'll come to that a little bit later. So let's get cracking with that intro and drink some tea.
Crack.
So before we can fit the headlight, these brackets were slightly too large for the forks, same thing. So
Stanchions, aren't they what they call them?
that, yes. So I bought a couple of inserts that fit onto these forks for these to then slot round. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to whip off this top yoke, slot these on, and then these can be mounted.
We need some soap.
No. Maybe. So, having lubed up, we can now slot on.
Still pretty tight. But it's
Good.
going.
That's a good thing.
Where do they need to be?
It means it's not going to move. Well, that's it. We can't really decide where to put them yet until we mount the headlight and put the top on.
Let's hope we can still move that later then.
Right. So, hurry up then.
I'll get the other one. Because the hole in the centre of these is very slightly smaller than the fork doodah itself.
Oh, that's a
And even now it's tight.
wrong way round. And now it's on the floor.
Excellent. That was the plan all along, wasn't it?
It was. I thought to see whether the floor would accommodate, and it did.
If we get desperate, we can always squirt a little WD down behind it or something.
Could you just take this headlight out of my... It's going to slip. Thank you.
Is there anything else to go on here? I think that's it.
I think that's it, yeah.
Just them thingies.
Yeah.
And then when this is in the right position, it just falls on. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's
Okay.
it.
Right.
Wobbled off, it wobbled on again.
Right.
Big nut is there.
Yeah. Okay, so one jobbed.
Well, technically two, because we've done other things off camera. So.
Yes. I think that's looking a lot more scrambly now. With these pumped up to the bottom of the yoke there, and those on. I can't wait. We've really got to get that headlight on soon. I can't wait to see how this looks. Okay, so we have done this one. Done some movement of that and pinched it with a pincering thingy.
Cool.
Yeah, and put the bolt in. So that's in. Now to do the second one.
Almost right. I think this bit needs straightening out a bit, or bending a bit, or whichever way around we need to do that.
Okay.
Let's move that out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to adjust that bracket a bit. Ooh, snotty nose, nice.
All right. Say hello.
Hello.
Have a little helper today. With your bobble hat. Why you got your bobble hat on? You cold?
No, it's there's plays on there.
Oh, blaze on there. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, hello. Ah, that's the end of those pliers.
Hurt.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Hurt.
That's the quality tool for you.
I already bent the handles. Good job.
Okay.
That's okay.
So it's one of those one job only tools.
Well, it's done two, so that's good.
Well, no, it hasn't, is it?
Yeah,
It's done one.
last week to do something.
The other one's gone.
I know.
Can't do it, yeah?
No.
No. We'll do it for later. You do it later.
Meanwhile, here's some dancing and some music.
I'm gonna crush it.
Is that enough?
No. And we're on.
Yay!
Might have to touch that bracket up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So now comes the moment of truth. Let's get that headlight on.
We can.
Yeah. I'm going to bring you around the front here so you can see what we're looking at. Oh, yes, I'm liking that. Oh, it's looking very mean, although slightly twisted. So whilst Malcolm starts to rewire the bike, I am going to change all the screws on the engine. Now, I bought a kit, and the description and link, no, the link will be in the description below. So that's a bolt kit, and that's the instructions on where it needs to go, or where they all need to go, which is quite handy. I've got to measure each one. So, Allen keys, engine, kit, cue the music. Not that music. So there we go, a little bit of a dress up, changing some bolts on that side and on that side. And that just breaks up the blackness of the bike. Really pleased with that, came out really nicely.
Yeah,
How
looks
you
good.
getting on with the wiring, Mal?
Getting there slowly. I'm just trying to remember where everything was because it was kind of a bit all over the place. But I got to a point where I needed to put the battery in, so I'm sorting out a nice solid mount for that. We've discovered a nice strap that we can use instead of the rubber ones that perish.
Woo!
Looking good.
So it's all good.
So next we're going to refit the light bracket on the rear. So we need a couple of pan head Allen key screws with, that's 25mm long. So bolt please.
What's this?
That one, yep, good boy.
And then next.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Oh, hello. Powder coating's got in the way again.
Yeah, they all need screwing in. I think that's quite handy though.
Actually, that works out quite well, yeah.
It stops them falling out.
Yeah. Okay, can I have the washer, please?
What's this?
Thank you. That's it. He's learning. He's only 3. Not bad, is he? Learning.
Daddy, we want a big one.
Yeah, can we have another one, please? That's it. Thank you. And the nylock. That's it. Thank you.
I want some.
Now, when it comes to putting the indicators back on, unfortunately, again, due to the powder coat, this will not go through the hole, so we have to screw. So rather than just screw, what we're going to do is just drill out the hole, put a little bit of grease in there, and then slot it in, and that'll stop it rusting. So we're just going to do that with these 4 holes here, and problem solved. So next we are going to mount the number plate bracket.
I'm going to drill them out first.
Yes, we are. So just
bright.
drill out the, isn't it?
Right in the eyeballs.
Sorry. Just drill out the powder coat. And we want 25mm bolts by M8, and we're going for these nice ones here. So once this is on, of course we need to make the number plate backing, and then the number plate can go on there quite nicely. So for now this is just mocking up where this goes, ready for putting in the wires. Patrick, please.
Catch up.
I will thank you, just let me explain this. Oh, forget it, let's have lunch. So now with the lights in place, I'm just going to put on this rear LED light. That's going to sit on there like so. I have a couple of doubts as to how strong this sticky stuff's going to be, but we shall see.
Well, the wires, they're not this side, they're on that side, isn't it? That is stuck.
And that will go up inside there with these to be wired in. Yeah, liking that. Just finishes it off quite nicely, I think. And that is going to be the additional brake light. Right, next comes the front LED light bracket. So that I'm just going to screw that in there, like so, because this is the spacer. And that should screw in there. And then the LED will just sit on the front there like that. So a slight issue when putting on the bracket. Now, didn't realise that the bracket this screws into, I made this hole centre of this bracket. However, it's not central on the bit that it screws into, it's slightly off to one side, and I didn't account for that. So I need to trim off one edge of this, which I shall do now. Okay, just to go back on myself, I did do it properly and measure it and put it in the right bit, because all I have to do is turn it round and then it fits perfectly. Right, where were we? Central that. Much better. There we go. I can't speak properly again. All I need to do is to tighten it up and put on the LED. This one should be a bit easier because it doesn't have to curve around a bend. There we go. That is central. Now we have front LED and front light, and that can go up there somewhere. Okay, so I've been online and bought myself a couple of gadgets that are going to be hardwired into the bike. One of them is a USB, like so, with an inline fuse, and it's got a double USB, and that is going to be used for plugging in a GPS or a telephone or anything really. That's going to be mounted under the yoke. Also bought a camera. Now a lot of people have the helmet cams or a camera stuck to the side of the helmet or whatever, or one mounted on the front. Well, I've gone one step further and I've bought these. Now These cameras, one front and one rear, they're both 1080p or 720. I can have HD 720 or full HD 1080. A lot of these you buy have usually got the rear camera is really crap quality, like 480, really poor. But these ones are the same. I paid £87 on eBay for this. But not only do you get the cameras, you also get the screen. And the screen can split into two, so you can watch it if you want to, or you can turn that off. You also get the start-stop button, which you can put in on the dashboard, and that comes with a waterproof casing as well. Lots of stuff in here, like so. I've also bought a waterproof case which is designed for a small GPS, but it's perfectly sized for this, so it can be permanently mounted on the dash, and waterproof casing goes over the top. And it's one of those touchscreen ones as well, so you can still use the console in between, and lots of brackets and all sorts of stuff which you probably won't be using because it'll be mounted on properly. So yes, really pleased with that, and now we're going to try and figure out where it's going.
Well, originally we talked about having an action cam or something mounted up in here, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Well, we don't need that if you've got them 1080 cameras.
Very true.
So we could do away with that and perhaps just with our console thing in here,
Yeah.
whichever way around it goes, I forget, I think the narrow end's this end. So mount it under the narrow end of the...
Yeah, so it sticks out just over the headlight.
Yeah, so with this in here, it will just be here.
Yeah, just angle it down.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Mount it to the bottom of the light cluster thing, little console.
Yeah, good thinking.
And it's going to be tucked away underneath. It's high enough, it's not going to get muck on it, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's also far enough forward that it's not going to see this.
Yeah.
Oh, it might just a little bit, but that'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll do the job.
Okay,
Do
right.
that.
Rear one.
So the rear one, we don't really want it mounted on here at all because that's just going to be bouncing away because of the
Can't see
thing.
it.
You can't see it in there, it's going to be way too close to the tyre.
I
And
don't know.
muck's going to be spraying up and it wants to
Yeah.
be off to the side really somewhere. I wonder if we could, like on that side, sort of shoehorn it on top of the light
No, I don't like that idea.
or in between the lights or make a little bracket that sits on top of the shock turret thing, going backwards, be next to the seat, just looking that way. Because most of what you want to see is the front of the car there, anything on that side of the road or anything overtaking.
Yes, but what about under there? To the bottom of that bracket.
Well no, because that tyre's going to be spraying up muck all the time.
It's not going to be spraying up muck into that though, is it? It's going to be up the back here.
Go
All
on
over
in
me.
there as well.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know, perhaps we can have your suggestions on that. Where do you think this rear camera should be mounted? Now, I quite like symmetrical things, so I like the fact that things are the same that side as they are that side, hence these. I'm not sure. Your help would be much appreciated. Please let us know in the comments below if you know where we can mount this rear camera.
I think probably over here is probably the easiest and best place to put it. It doesn't move.
Okay, so it looks like Malcolm's come up with a suggestion. Again, it's just a suggestion. Your thoughts would be appreciated on this. Take it away, Mark.
What can you see on your camera
see it all.
there? Right, so on the other side, because that's the more convenient side, on the bottom of these shocks we have a Schrader valve with a big cap. This is the bracket that supports
Comes off
the camera. So what we're thinking here is make another bracket to go with this, fix it on with 2 nuts and bolts or whatever, little ones, and mount it up under there with a little bracket that got a hole in for the Schrader valve and a washer. Fix it in there, screw the Schrader valve cap on,
Yeah,
and that will hold it in place under
this shock.
the shock on that side.
It's this side because in England, obviously, would need to be looking at that side.
It's
of
better
it.
to have it that side, and that will sit under there like that, so the camera will point back. It's next to the tyre rather than above the tyre, so it should get less muck on it.
It's quite subtle.
If we can tuck it up, it's fairly subtle, yeah. And the wire can be run up the side of the whatever this reservoir thing's
Reservoir,
called, the
yeah.
housing, and then up into the frame.
That's the oil reservoir, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Although they've got a name, but I can't think what it is.
Yeah. Quite liking that idea.
It's out the way, it's not obscured by anything.
No. Okay. Sounds good. What do you think? Again, let us know. Exterminate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so now we come on to the leads and the caps. We have some new caps, of course. Now, these leads are staying on because they work really well and they're already plumbed into the coils. So what I did is went online and bought some overbraid. And these are to go over the leads. Are you sure these are the ones? Oh, it's extremely thin.
You should stretch when you squish it like a Chinese finger puzzle. Like that.
Okay. Oh yeah. Right, like you said. Look. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Doing, 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 doing. So yeah, that will go over these hoses. Of course, we can take these caps off and put on the new ones. So let's do that now. So first things first, you have to unscrew the old cap, like so, and take it off. Get rid of that. Oh, they used to be blue apparently.
Yeah, they were quite nice.
Yeah, they're all green and minging now, look. Lovely. So then with this braid, to put it over. It gets a bit awkward to start it because it frays at the end. Then just pull it over, he says. It won't go. I'm just pulling it apart each time.
Yeah, mine's gone wrong as well.
So you have to try and pull it and squeeze it at the same time like that, you see.
That's how much you use on a short lead. But unfortunately,
So try and pull it, see, like that, look, and push it in, and it concertinas it down. And then the end bit, you just snip off. Push and pull, push and pull. So once you've threaded the end through, like so, obviously that will sit on the end of this. So again, just concertina it until it's up there. So it's a lengthy process, so with the cable tie around here so it doesn't keep unwinding itself, you just basically push a bit on, keep hold of it, and then slide it up. And then push a bit on. I unfortunately couldn't work this out for myself, so Malcolm had to show me, because I was doing it the hard way by just going, where are they going? What's going on? Why isn't it all working for me? So Malcolm came up with a solution, and then you just wind it up like that. So there you go, it's at the top. How simple is that? Now it just goes to show that all my was pointless.
not unnecessary.
Of course you need to trim it down now because that isn't going to work. Just look, see?
Not ideal.
You can put it on the end of the spark plug, no problem. But I very much doubt you'll get a spark. So the next part of this arduous task is to feed the remaining remnants of this into the rubber by just squeezing it and pushing in with a screwdriver just to neaten it up. You need a lot of time to do this, a lot of patience. Something which I struggle with. We're just discussing that. I have a lot of patience with other people. I have very little patience for my own activities because I think I expect more from myself. I get frustrated when I can't do it straight away or quick enough. But in my work, in my day job, I can get called all sorts of names and everything under the sun and just deal with it. This is really annoying. Obviously once it's done, it does look really good, and I'll show you in a second one that Malcolm's done on the other side and you can see. So as you can see, look, This one is neatly in here, doing exactly the same method that I'm doing on this side and up here, and that looks rather nice. Really impressed with that. Very good indeed. So in a minute we'll show you once all four are done. I say in a minute.
In a while.
And there they are done. So all the braiding is on, like so, and the new caps are on. We could have gone for new HT leads, but I think these work quite well. There you go. A little bit of braid has come loose on that one, but we just concertina that round. There you go. I think that's looking good. Getting messy on top here though. Well, the cat's enjoying herself. Okay, so the switch gear is all on now as well. So I'm now going to put the front indicators on. So we have come to the end of this episode. It's very rainy and it's 5:30.
So a real downer on the day.
It has, yes. So we're going to call it a day for today. However, we have got the lights in, the indicators, the lights done, all the braiding done on the
that took a long time.
HT leads. That did take a long time. That was slightly annoying, but I think the effect is brilliant and it's come out really well. Got the studs done on the engine, either side and on the top. The rear lights are in. The wiring is in and ready. The only thing we haven't done is wired up the front end and this centerpiece, but that's because Malcolm left a bit of paper at home. So next we are going to be back on this and we're going to be tidying up these instruments so they look nice, getting the caliper painted, and then finishing off the wiring and fitting the rest of the stuff. So it's nearly there. Getting really excited now. Oh, we have the exhaust paint as well, and get the wrap on the exhaust.
I think that's the thing, when you get to this stage of a build, you're being careful not to damage anything.
Yeah.
And you're doing little finicky jobs to neaten things up, and it takes time.
We're also going down to get some new studs for the exhaust as well.
Yeah, we'll give them up waiting for those to arrive.
One of them we have to get re-drilled because it's broken. But that's okay. We have a helicoil kit and we are going to get that done next episode as well. So, thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below.
Please like the video or dislike it if you didn't like it.
And please subscribe if you haven't already.
And press that little bell thing if you think it probably does something.
Indeed.
Who knows?
And until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
Bye bye.